Hello everyone, it is Monday, October 8th, so it is Kettlebell Monday. That means we're doing a fun kettlebell exercise or workout I got ready for you guys today. So we're going to start with a bent over row to front swing. So it's going to be a fun full body exercise. It's going to hit the hips, the glutes, hammies a little bit, as well as the back as well. Those two exercises will be exercising similar muscle groups in different ways, so we'll get a lot of adaptation hopefully out of one individual exercise. And then we'll move on to the racked duck walk. That's pretty much just going to be a duck walk while we're loading it with a kettlebell, similar to the loaded duck walk that we did last week. So that is our workout today. I'll give you guys the rep schemes and all that later on. Let's go ahead and get into the demonstrations. So what we're doing with this exercise is we're combining a bent over row with a kettlebell front swing. That's going to exercise similar muscle groups in a little bit of a different way. So the bent over row is going to help us strengthen the biceps and the mid and upper back a little bit, as well as the bent over position is going to load that low back a little bit as well. And then we'll move into position to do a front swing, which will activate all of those muscles in one coordinated movement. Whereas with the bent over row, all those muscles are activating in like separate groups and a couple different isolated movements. So super fun exercise, super compound, so should get a lot of results from the exercise. Really fun thing about working with kettlebells like this is they work a lot of multiple muscle groups at the same time, like this exercise does. So you get a lot out of just the one exercise. You can get a lot of work done with a small amount of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this into a couple parts for you guys. We're going to go over the bent over row first, and then we'll go over the front swing, and then we'll go over how to combine those into one smooth flow. So for my bent over row, I like to have the weight right here between the knuckles of my toes, as opposed to other kettlebell starting positions. Sometimes I want it behind me. So for the bent over row, I want this right in front of me, or right between my toes here. Keeping my back flat, I'm going to hinge at the hips so I can get just deep enough that I can wrap my fingers around the kettlebell here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the kettlebell off the ground, but I want you to don't focus on getting the weight close to your chest, because then sometimes people will curl it like this, which isn't necessarily a bad exercise to do. It's just not the one we're trying to do right now. So what I want you to do is focus on getting your elbows high. If you focus on getting your elbows up to the sky, that'll inadvertently get the weight where we want it to be. So I'm here, keeping the shoulders back flat, pulling the weight up and down. And that's all there is to the bent over row. So now we'll work on the front swing. So for the front swing, I like to actually have the weight between my heels, or maybe even behind me, depending on how hard I'm trying to swing. All I have to really do is pick the weight up off the ground, and it's naturally going to swing for me, so I don't have to shoulder raise it quite as much. So I'm here, I'm ready for my front swing. Now I'm going to start in position similar to the bent over row, only the kettlebell is back here behind my heels rather than between my toes. But my back, my knees, my hips, my posture is all pretty much the same. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip this weight off the ground, but I'm going to do that not by using my shoulders and raising the weight. I'm going to do that by popping my hips forward, and I'm going to basically turn my body into a whip so that flings the kettlebell into the air rather than lifting it. So that should look like this. See me coming up on my toes a little bit. You want to try to avoid that. Feel yourself coming up on your toes. Pick your toes up like you're pulling your toes towards your shin, and that'll put your heels back into the ground. So now we've got the bent over row down and we've got the front swing down. We're going to add the two movements into one exercise or one flow. So I'm going to start with my bent over row. So I'm here in my ready position. I'm going to row it, set it down. Now I'm going to hop forward so the kettlebell is behind me now. Do my front swing, I set the weight back down behind my heels and hop back. Try not to hop too far. Now I'm doing my row again. And that is the bent over row to front swing. So now we're going to do the racked duck walk. So basically that's just gonna be a normal duck walk. If you don't know what a duck walk is, you're about to find out in a minute. Plus, you're gonna have a kettlebell and it's going to be in the rack position. So I'm just gonna go over the rack position real quick and then we'll get into the duck walk. So all the rack position is I'm resting the weight, the kettlebell, on the meaty part of my shoulder and the meaty part of my forearm right here. So that'll look something like this. Something you want to watch out for is keeping this elbow elevated up here with your shoulder and not down here. This isn't necessarily bad, it just loads the muscles in a little bit different way. Here you're using your bicep a lot more to support the weight, and here we're using our traps and our mid-back and our deltoids a lot more to support the weight. The reason that we want to do that is because this is forcing us to activate our back, which is one of the muscle groups we're trying to target today with this workout. And this is going to help train the shoulder blade to maintain better posture, be in better alignment. That's important because if your shoulder blade is in the right spot, it gives your rotator cuff, the moving part of your shoulder, better leverage to pull off of, so you can actually move better and support more weight, more load more safely if you're able to keep your shoulder blades in a healthy position. So just remember to keep that elbow up as you're doing the rack, and then we'll get into the duck walk. So I've got my kettlebell in my rack position here. I'm coming down in my sumo squat, and now I'm waddling. So that is the racked duck walk. Try to keep your heels down as much as you can. Obviously you're walking, so your heels are gonna come up a little bit, but just keep those calves nice and stretched out. Try to keep your feet as flat on the floor as possible. Make sure you're keeping the elbow up, you're in the rack position. As far as rep scheme goes, we're gonna do 40 feet. We're gonna do 20 feet on each arm. So the way I did it is I measured out 10 feet. So I did 10 feet forward, 10 feet back, switched the weight, and then did another 10 feet forward and 10 feet back again for a total of 40 feet. So that is the racked or duck walk. Okay guys, so that is it for Kettlebell Monday. I'm just gonna go over the rep scheme real quick with you guys and then we'll get out of here. So we are starting with, if I can get my tool ready. We're starting with the bent over row to front swing. So remember that's basically 2 exercises combined into one. You're gonna do 12 total reps of that. So a rep is 1 row and 1 front swing. You'll call that 1 rep. And then we'll finish off with the racked duck walk. You're doing 40 feet of that. So I split that up into 20 and 20 feet on each arm. You can split that up however you want. I would encourage you to try to get an equal amount of time, distance, reps, whatever you do on one shoulder and the other, just to make sure you train everything symmetrically. And because it is Kettlebell Monday, we're using kettlebells for all the exercises today. So if you guys have any questions about today's workout, leave a comment. You can email me at caveman@tylerrockgym.com, or you can message me on the Instagram at trg_fitness. I would love to help you out, answer any questions that you have. If you have any exercise recommendations, things that you think are cool and you would like to see on the WOD vlog, I would love to hear your ideas. So just shoot me a message or leave a comment, and I'll for sure get with you on that. And tomorrow will be Stabilization Tuesday, so that'll be a fun stabilizing workout. Also super fun, so I hope to see you guys then. And with that said, I hope you enjoy your Kettlebell Monday workout.